In a world that tells us to move faster, do more, and stay busy, what if the secret to feeling better is actually slowing down? Today, we're exploring why savoring life's small joys can help bring a little more calm, comfort, and peace into your day. Do you want to achieve your goals, but anxiety is tripping you up? Like to keep those fun weekend plans, but depression has you canceling again? Hey, I'm Lori, dog mom, lover of nature, and Hygge enthusiast. Positive psychology skills help me overcome chronic severe PTSD. If you're ready to learn how to overcome your anxiety and depression and rediscover happiness and purpose in life, then get your cozy on and let's get started. Welcome back to Practical Solutions for PTSD. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite things, and that is Hygge, as you know from the intro script. I'm really excited to be able to talk to you about this and how we can celebrate it in the summer. Before we get there, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about our upcoming 100th episode and our celebration with that. I am really excited to be able to announce to you they're going to be having a flash sale for that week. So it'll be the last full week of August, or last full week of July, rather. In the last full week of July, we are going to be having a flash sale, 20% off your first coaching session. So you can go to practicalsolutionsforptsd.com/breakthrough, schedule your very first 60-minute coaching session with me, and we can help get you started on this path of being able to operationalize your character strengths, your personality, to help you overcome the challenges in life and unlock your superpowers and really drill down into that and help you develop a personalized toolkit for overcoming depression and anxiety. You can go to practicalsolutionsforptsd.com/breakthrough and schedule yours today. The coupon code is celebrate100. And you'll get 20% off your very first coaching session. So go to practicalsolutionsforptsd.com/breakthrough, use the coupon code celebrate100 and get 20% off your very first coaching session. That's going to be open during the last full week of July. So our 100th episode is going to be on July the 23rd. And so to be able to take advantage of that sale, you'll have from July 20th through the 25th to be able to get 20% off. So go to practicalsolutionsforptsd.com/breakthrough, use the coupon code celebrate100 and get 20% off your very first coaching session. Now, one of the beauties of Hygge is to get us to slow down and to recognize the beauty of life around us. And often when you think of Hygge, you think of winter, like Hygge in the wintertime, which I love Hygge in the wintertime. It actually helps with my seasonal depression, gets me through that season much better by just intentionally incorporating things that I really love and enjoy in the wintertime and slowing down to savor those. So you might be thinking of, like a thick, cozy blanket, candles flickering in the wintertime or Christmas lights, a warm cup of hot chocolate. I love all of these. Maybe a special time with friends and family over the holidays or, whatever this is, cards, Christmas cards coming in, holiday cards, and all the beauty that goes with that. But Hygge really isn't about winter. Now, this is a time when a lot of people implement it. And, candles actually in the Scandinavian countries, they go through a lot of candles because candles are at the heart of Hygge. And you use a lot more of those, obviously, when it's dark outside. So they go through a lot of those. But it's more than just winter. So Hygge is about creating a feeling. It's that feeling of warmth, of comfort, being present in the moment, of belonging, of connection with friends and family. It's making a choice to slow down long enough to notice that life still holds beautiful moments, even when life is hard. And I've talked about this many times before. We don't want to forget the bad things, but we want to adapt a both and mindset. Yes, there's struggles. Yes, there's difficult times. And there is also good things. And really, that's something that your nervous system desperately needs when you're facing difficult times, is to slow down long enough to incorporate the good things. Because if you've lived through trauma, anxiety symptoms, depression, or prolonged stress, your mind often becomes really, really good at noticing what's wrong. And I mean, this builds on what we've been given as a survival mechanism because, it's the wrong things that are going to hurt you, to kill you, to, do damage. And so you're hardwired in your survival to be able to pick up on those and scan for those very quickly. So you begin noticing what's unfinished, what's uncertain, what's unsafe. And again, it's not you being pessimistic, it's your brain working overtime to try to protect you and to keep you safe in that moment. So, today we're going to talk about one of the simplest and most powerful Hygge practices you can develop that can really help counter this, and that is called savoring. It's so simple, and yet it's something that we miss so often. And I will confess right here, self disclosure, this is not something that comes easily to me. I have to be very intentional about it. But savoring is the art of lingering in good moments instead of rushing past them. So you let your morning coffee, or in my case, my morning tea, actually taste like tea or coffee if you're one of those crazy people that drink coffee. But you actually enjoy the taste and savor that for a moment. You're sitting outside in these warm summer nights watching fireflies instead of trying to capture pictures of them. You feel the warmth of the sun instead of mentally running through tomorrow's to do list. These tiny moments, they seem insignificant and like, what's the big deal? But they can become a really good invitation for your nervous system to settle down. So, one of the biggest ironies of healing is that you don't have to practice noticing what's stressful. You just do it automatically. Your brain is scanning for danger because survival depends on it, right? So, for someone who's experienced trauma, PTSD, or chronic stress, that alarm system often becomes super sensitive. And your brain keeps asking, am I safe? Is everything okay? What am I missing? What should I be worried about? And it can be so exhausting mentally, emotionally, constantly staying on guard. And while your body might be sitting peacefully in your own back porch or sitting on the front porch watching people walk past with their dogs, your thoughts are already answering tomorrow's emails, creating a list of to-dos that you have to take care of, or trying to solve whatever problem that you're dealing with. And it can almost feel like practicing Hygge is an act of rebellion. Like you're not being efficient with your time, or you're not accomplishing all that you can. It's like, what if this moment is not enough? What if I need to be stacking stuff onto this moment? And trust me, habit stacking is a great thing. And I don't have an issue with that. But sometimes you need to slow down for a moment and just enjoy that moment for what it is and its simplicity. So, what if for 60 seconds you don't try to stack anything, you don't try to multitask, you don't try to solve any problems, you're not creating your to do list? You simply notice the moment. You notice the breeze flowing through the trees, the smell of fresh cut grass, the sound of birds singing, the dogs barking in the neighborhood, the feeling of the warmth of the sun touching your skin, or again, the taste of that coffee or tea that you work so hard to prepare just perfectly. So, Hygge reminds us that comfort isn't something that we have to earn before we can enjoy it. You don't have to say, well, I'll slow down once I have all of my stuff done. Or, I'll take a moment to enjoy the backyard once I have all of my chores finished. It's something that we can intentionally create along the way. You can take 60 seconds in the middle of your to do list, of accomplishing that to do list, to just enjoy the moment. Maybe a bird landed on a branch outside your window while you're cleaning the kitchen, and you stop for just a moment to enjoy the bird. It could just be a small moment, but you just stop for 60 seconds. Those intentional moments add up. We get so carried away and getting stuff done and being productive and accomplishing goals that we forget to savor the journey as we're going through it. And sometimes we need to intentionally create those moments along the way where we just stop for 60 seconds to enjoy what's going on. Now, researchers in positive psychology have discovered something super fascinating. Positive moments happen all day long. I know this is going to come as a surprise for some of you, especially those of you that are struggling with depression or anxiety or chronic stress or loneliness and isolation. But there are positive moments happening to you and around you all day. The problem is not their absence, but the problem is our speed. We're moving through them so quickly that our brain barely registers that they're even there. It could be the sound of a child's laugh. It may be fresh flowers on the kitchen table, a fresh tomato from the garden. I've been enjoying my cucumbers lately. They're amazing. It could be a cool breeze after a hot afternoon. And my goodness, does that ever feel good? And this morning I was out gardening and coming back in and just getting a cold glass of water. Oh, it was delicious. But often we absorb that positive moment without taking any time to really notice it. It's just there and gone. And savoring can change that. So when we intentionally stay with a pleasant experience for just 20 or 30 seconds, we're giving our brain time to absorb it. And that can really change how you're handling stress. Just those brief moments of positive happenings or positive events in your life, taking 10 to 20 seconds, 30 seconds to just savor it for a moment and really live in that moment for just a little bit can really change how your body is handling the stress that you're going through. So, one way to picture this is to think of steeping a cup of tea. We've been talking about coffee and tea. So, in this instance, we're going to talk about steeping tea. So, if you have a cup of hot water and you dip a tea bag into it and you pull it straight back out, the water doesn't really change at all because it wasn't in there long enough. But if you put the tea back in it and just let it sit there for a few minutes, usually they recommend 3 to 5 minutes for your tea to steep to really get the flavor in there. And then you pull it out. You've got rich, lovely, flavorful tea to drink. Now, I love a good cup of black tea. So you let it steep for long enough, and it could be almost completely black. It's so dark brown, it's almost black because it was able to steep for a little bit. The same is true for the joys in your life. We need to linger long enough to let it soak in. That's one reason why hygge is so powerful because it invites us to linger for just a little bit. So, one of the biggest misconceptions about happiness and joy and fulfillment in life is that it comes from extraordinary experiences. The dream vacation, that promotion that you've been working so hard for, the perfect house, a beautiful garden, retirement, when life finally slows down. Hygge offers a different perspective. It says that a meaningful life is built around ordinary moments that receive our full attention. And there's the key, it receives our full attention. I'm going to give you a few ways that you can intentionally do this and incorporate it into your life. And for some of this, I've tried some of these and they really do work. Like I said before, stopping and savoring is not my natural mode. I'm a natural charge through, and let's get to the next thing. But slowing down a little bit and savoring can really change how you do that. So, the number one way is to create a hygge pause. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone with your morning cup of coffee or your morning tea, just sit quietly for 2 minutes and enjoy the silence or enjoy the quiet of the morning or just breathe. Just breathe. Look out the window, see what kind of day it is. Look at the sky, see how blue it is. Let your day begin gently. A second way is to eat one thing slowly. Now, I'm not telling you have to eat every single thing slowly, but do you have something on your plate that you really enjoy? Maybe you have some fresh strawberries because it is berry season after all. So maybe you have a cup of fresh strawberries or you have some fresh blueberries. And for me, I've been picking blackberries out of my backyard. So instead of just shoveling them down as you're reading the news or checking the weather or, listening to something on your phone, just pause for a moment and take one and just take a bite of that berry and just savor it as the flavor explodes on your tongue and just pause for a moment. So eat one thing slowly. The third thing is to become a collector of small joys. So you can if you're a journaler, this is a really good one for you. You can keep a notebook close by and not to record your problems or to vent or anything like that. This specifically is just to record moments like, oh, the breeze just felt so wonderful today, or my dog made me laugh. Now, there are definite moments that happens around my house. Or I watched a butterfly in the garden. And this happened to me the other day. I was out watering the garden and a beautiful monarch butterfly was flying through the plants. It was beautiful. My iced tea tasted especially refreshing today. And the blend was just perfect. I came in today and it was so good after an hour in the yard. These moments seem tiny and insignificant, but when you put them together and you savor them for a little bit, it creates a life that feels warmer and more grounded because you're appreciating things in the moment, which helps ground you. And the warmth of appreciating those positive things for just a few seconds can really change how you look at life. A fourth way you can do this is to let nature set the pace. So spend 10 minutes outside without a purpose. Now, this one, I have to admit, if I'm here at home, this is a hard one. Now, if I leave the house and go sit down by the river, I can totally do this. If I'm at home, I'm looking at all the things I still need to get done. But you can have just 10 minutes, just sit and enjoy. No exercise goals, no yard work, no productivity, just simply notice. This is one of the most hygge things that you can do because hygge is all about simplicity and nature. So, as we finish up today, I want to leave you with this thought. Healing isn't only found in the big breakthroughs. Sometimes it's found in the quiet spaces between them. In the porch swing, the garden, fresh flowers in an old mason jar, a favorite blanket on a cool summer evening, the laughter of someone you love. These moments won't ease pain, they're not going to take it away, but they gently remind your nervous system that life is made for more than survival, that both and mindset. Hygge teaches us that coziness isn't about expensive decor or picture perfect homes. It's about creating an atmosphere where your heart can soften, where you can let down those walls, where your breath slows for a little bit, your shoulders relax and drop, where you remember that peace is often found in ordinary moments we've simply slowed down enough to notice. So here's your invitation for the week. Each day, choose one moment to savor, not to rush through, not to photograph, not to improve, just to experience. One moment. Each day, choose one moment to just experience. And maybe you'll discover that healing doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives quietly in those simple moments that we're savoring the good things of life. It could be carried on the scent of fresh cut grass, the warmth of a cup of tea, or the gentle realization that for this moment you are safe enough to simply be. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, may you find comfort in the simple things, create a little more coziness wherever you are, and remember that sometimes the smallest joys leave the deepest footprints on our hearts. Save 20% on your first coaching session by using coupon code CELEBRATE100. That's during the last full week of July as we celebrate episode 100, dropping on July the 23rd. Hey, my friend, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share it with someone you know who may be struggling with depression and anxiety? Also, would you please leave a quick review for the show? Knowing how this podcast is helping you fills my heart with so much joy, and it motivates me for future episodes. For now, it's time for Sam and I to head outside to enjoy some sunshine and fresh air. We'll see you back here on Tuesdays and Thursdays for more great episodes.